All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know what time it is. It is another input segment from Targeted Individual CJBK. It is 6:30 a.m. Monday, March 10th. And I'm like, hey, my birthday's in 6 days. It's sad. I like, even before my targeting, I don't even get excited for my birthday no more. I think the last time I actually got excited for my birthday was when I turned 30. I think the next time I'll actually get excited for my birthday is when I turn 40. But apparently, according to the synthetic telepathy or microwave hearing attack operatives, or V2K, apparently to them, I only had, I guess back in September, I only had 6 months to live. I wanted to find a video where I said that the first time, because I was like, they was like, wait, I feel like March is supposed to be it. They said I only got 6 months to live. So I'm like, all right. And then I'm thinking to myself, they got nanotechnology, so they're seeing everything at a nano scale. They keep talking about this so-called tumor that's in my brain. And it's funny because every time they say the word tumor, I feel this pressure from what I'm pretty sure is a frequency or a resonance that's made with a somewhere in the prefrontal cortex, and it's the same exact spot that I find on everyone else's head. It's the same exact spot. Only difference is, well, if you're most likely not being targeted by them, then you don't probably notice it. If you are being targeted by them, you probably notice it so often, and sometimes you might think it's pressure in the head or a headache. A lot of people who still haven't really been doing enough reading on just how invasive nano scale technology is. And that's the part that kind of gets me, is a lot of TIs still aren't understanding or understanding that there is 3 whole factors to the entire gang stalking, aka ritual abuse, secret society agenda. There's the psychological, there's the physical, psychological, physical, and then you got the spiritual, right? But the physical, I also you can also use psychological. Okay, then oh wait, it wasn't physical, but you could actually add that before some people who actually get into actual physical altercations with gaslighters and whatnot. But the other one is technological. So you got technological, spiritual, physical, and psychological. All four of these things are part of the entire gang stalking experience, right? Now the thing is, everybody don't get the same program. What is this? They doing early morning tours in the city? But anyway, they might be actually shooting a movie. Okay, I was like, they doing tours in the morning? But anyway, I always like that about New York City. Sometimes you just driving by, and then you see the film trucks outside. You're like, oh, another New York made film being made. But anyway, so yeah, and it's like, I strongly dislike how TIs kind of get into arguments and they'll say, no, it's not technological, no, it's not spiritual, no, it's all of the above. Those of you who watch my channel, do not engage in arguments or whatever about people Don't try to choose a particular side. It's like, no, it's only this. No, there's layers to this shit. There's multiple layers. There's multiple levels, and there's different tactics. Now, yesterday I didn't get to make it to church yesterday, because I went to go and hang out with my cousin. And I didn't get home till like 10:34. Then I don't think I slept that well, and I woke up at 5 a.m. And I was mad as hell. I woke up at 5 a.m. And I don't know. I tried to go back to sleep, but just couldn't go back to sleep. And then my girl did something surprising. She got up early in the morning and went grocery shopping. I was like, okay, so she's feeling productive today. But she really is trying her best to maintain normalcy. I'll say that. Like she'll do some research into the whole gang stalking and electronic harassment stuff, but she's not really she's not focusing on it, and I don't think nowhere as near as I am, as much as I am, I'll say. And my thing is, I've had some TIs explain why you should just try to ignore it. Then I've had some TIs actually explain why you should actually face it kind of head on, in a sense. You should face it kind of head on, in a sense, where okay, so there's this one woman on my Facebook page. I think she's out in California, and she's so pretty and whatnot, and she got kids, and she has V2K, and she be posting some of the most saddest, traumatic looking videos of her experience with the V2K. And I'm thinking to myself, I've been wondering, what exactly did she do to really end up on here? Was it just something that she was just born into, or did she actually end up doing something to get up on? See, me, I believe that I've always been being kind of low-key manipulated by the secret societies for the majority of my life, because my mom, she was being targeted before I was even born, because she actually reported somebody for sexual harassment at her job. So that's that whole aspect. Then it was like I mean, when I think back, I realize I most likely have been being manipulated with technology for many years and just was not aware of it. What else? But it wasn't until that incident in March of 2020, and I'm just thinking to myself, God, the quarantine had just started, and I remember that, and the worst part, that it was the week of my birthday. And a friend of mine, I'm just going to tell the story real quick. A friend of mine was visiting from out of town, and we were about to go, out, leave my apartment and go do something. I know we both had some things to do, so we were both about to head out. Then all of a sudden, I'm gonna use names because, it's not the V2K operatives' real names. That was funny as hell. I was still talking, didn't even realize I wasn't recording. But anyway, a friend of mine visiting me from out of town, and we're about to leave and go somewhere. And as I'm sitting on the arm of my couch by the front door, I hear this woman in the hallway scream, "Somebody help! Somebody call the police, he hit me." So my friend she was concerned, and she told me about her history with domestic violence and stuff like that. So I'm like, she's like, Chris, you heard that? And I'm like, yeah, I heard that. She was like, I hope she's all right. And I was like, I hope so too. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's count one. I'm not going to jump at every time you hear. You can't do that in New York because there's always something going on in New York. So when what am I trying to say? Damn, now they messing with my memory. So hold on. It's a lot of pressure building up in my memory cortex again. It's them. They don't want me to tell the story. All right. So hold on. I gotta not think about it for a second. Yeah. So now that I've not thought about it for a while, they stopped suppressing the memory. So I'm sitting on the arm of my the couch in my living room across from the front door, and I hear a woman scream out, someone help, someone call the police, he hit me. So I acknowledge it. My friend, she's like, Chris, you heard that? And I was like, yeah, I heard it. She was like, I hope she's all right. So she continues getting ready. I'm still sitting there by the door. Then all of a sudden, she hears the woman scream again, someone help. And then now she's like, Chris, now you gotta go check it out. Men in Houston don't play that men hitting women shit. So I'm like, all right. So I open the door to look out the window, and I see Michael. That's not his real name. That's just the name I gave him because I don't know none of their real names. But I see him standing in the hallway, slim dude. Looked like he was mixed. Like he was like, I don't know, like his mom is black and I don't know. He was kind of light skinned, but anyway. And he had his hair out like in an afro, like he was about to get his hair braided or something, and had the nerve to have on a white tank top. And you already know what they say about people who wear, like, a lot of times when there's a domestic incident, it's funny because he actually fit the description. They say most of the time there's a domestic incident, the guy is usually always wearing shorts and a white tank top, and that's exactly what he had on. Yeah, it just dawned on me he actually fit the description of a woman beater. That's hilarious. So anyway, so now I stick my head out the door to see what's going on. He's like playing keep away with her phone, and she's like on her tippy toes reaching and trying to get her phone back. She's like, give me my phone, give me my phone. And now they both look back in it because they see me open my door. Then it was weird how they all looked at me. They all looked at me like, who that? What he about to do? like it was just like a quick look for like 3 seconds. And then my friend, well, I don't know, I guess in Texas they're a lot bolder. So she goes and opens the door and come from behind me to step out into the hallway. So I'm like, okay, now my friend is involved, so now I gotta come out into the hallway. So I'm standing out in the hallway. She goes over to the girl. She's like, girl, you all right? So he actually gives her back her phone because he's like, oh, now there's other witnesses. I'm like, first of all, the camera, the hallway has security cameras anyway. So whatever happened in that hallway, I'm pretty sure it was recorded on the security cameras. But since they are a part of the secret society, they probably wiped the security cameras on that second floor. But anyway, so now what happens is, they, my friend and the girl, they looking at her phone, and I guess, I don't know, maybe the phone was damaged or something, I don't know. And then my friend goes, Chris, let me get your phone so I could call the police. And I don't even say a word. I just reach in my back pocket and I just handed her my phone. Because I was like, oh, is that serious? So I was like, all right. I'm not going to stop somebody from doing what they want to do. If you want to call the police from my phone, fine, you call the police. I know I didn't call them, but I guess to the argument of, you know, the other parties, it's like, oh, you a snitch because you let her call. So pretty much, I think he did. I don't know if he actually got arrested. I don't know, maybe he did, because I know after he gave the phone back, he kind of walked off all mad and shit. He walked off all mad. Then he turns around to me, so I'm supposed to just let her disrespect my mother? In my mind, I'm thinking, do I want to say something? Because I'm thinking to myself, well, what could she have possibly done for this woman to be hit to the point where she's bleeding and she's standing in the hallway in the Bronx, New York, asking for someone to call the police? It's like, you had to have done something. Cause I'm pretty sure she hit his mother, because I'm like, I don't think she hit her, because I'm pretty sure if that was the case, then his mother would have laid hands on her, not him. So I'm just wondering, like, okay, so apparently this woman got hit because she disrespected his mother somehow. I don't know how. And then after that, he goes into their apartment down the hall at the end of the hall. And then whatchamacallit, then what happened? So once that happened, his mother actually she actually walked over to me and apologized. She was just like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, you know, get you involved in all this stuff. And I was like, no, don't worry about it. Cause I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, shit happens, you know? Shit happens. So now, let me see, hold on. So, all right. So, forgot where I was at, but yeah, so his mom came over and, you know, apologized to me. And, you know, I told her it's all right. I know things happen or whatever. You know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, she really about to call the police on your son? I was like, damn. And in my mind, mom, she didn't even really say nothing to the woman. She didn't say nothing like along the lines like, no, you don't have to do that, please don't. She didn't say nothing. That's the part that really got me, was the fact that his mom didn't even try to stop her from calling the police. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, there has to be something so much more to this, because that's your son, right? I'm like, that's your son. This woman is about to call the police on your son. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, does she know her son is crazy? That's the only thing that actually seemed to process through my mind at the time. I was like, yo, she's like maybe this dude deserve it, because his mom not even trying to defend him. So I'm like, and she's standing in the same hallway with us. So I'm like, yo, what is going on? Hold on, I forgot where I'm going. You know, but anyway, so it's just a whole bunch of things, because I'm like, I think that's the reason why my I guess well, they say that they've been watching us and lightly manipulating us, you know, behind the shadows without us ever really knowing. But I guess when you do something like that, when you try to become a do-gooder or something, it kind of like, it escalates. Like it's like, oh, we were just messing with you then. Now you want to call the police. You want to help people and you want to call the police on people? And I still be like, but I didn't call the police. They called from my phone. But I guess when you think about it, they're looking from the sense like, oh, well, we still gave them the ability to call, so we're going to target you. Now, the funny thing is, I haven't seen the girl ever since, you know. Morning. Got a Whole Foods for 5 seats. Alright, so yeah, so I'm thinking to myself, so his mom didn't even try to stop her from calling. So I was like, so he might actually deserve this. Now, this is for about 5 years ago I'm talking about, right? Yeah, because it's March now. So this is like damn near 5 years ago now. To this day, hearing his voice, I could tell that he is somebody that does not have their emotions in check. And it's funny to me because they always be talking about, oh, Chris is so emotional. He's so emotional about everything. But I'm like, I ain't never had the cops called on me before, though. I know that. Hold on. So, yeah. Now, what? Oh, hello. Okay, so yeah, and I'm just thinking to myself like, yo, my whole life I've been really good at, not getting involved in confrontations or a bunch of other people's problems. I don't try to be no hero, nothing like that. But then it's like the one of the few times I actually do, this dude happens to have connections to a whole other aspect of the living experience on this planet that I never thought I would actually see that's not in a movie. That's the part that gets me, because I'm thinking to myself like, the first time I heard V2K, I thought it was just like somebody, I don't know, somebody maybe got in my apartment somehow and, I don't know, planted some devices or something. I never would have thought in any type of way that it's literally people using wireless sensor technology, wireless sensor networks, radio frequencies, and a slew of other technologies, and digital twin technology. And the part that gets me was that, after March, it's like after March I realized all them weird sounds and tappings and the woman's yelling woo, on these like various times and whatnot. I didn't realize I was actually being synchronized. So I mean, at this point, I'm literally just dealing with 4 people who put me from just surveillance and occasional manipulation to full-blown harassment in all 3 aspects. And I'm like I know some TIs, they only getting like maybe 1 or 2 of the 3 or 4 things. But nah, only thing I haven't really gotten was the physical confrontation part. But I'm getting all 3: psychological, spiritual, and what I said, technological. I'm getting all 3 harassments. But hey, hold on. But yeah, it's the same people. They probably don't live in the same building anymore, but I don't know. When I realized how big this system really is and how many people are involved, I took it upon myself to say that I'm not. Hello. Okay, so yeah, it's like don't know. I've been dealing with this thing for like the last going on 5 years now, and I'm very grateful when I meet other TIs who's been dealing with this for like 5, 10, 15, 20. I met one person that said they was going through it for 25, almost 30 years. I said, damn, that's a long time for people to just be stalking and harassing somebody. I'm like, for 30 years? And I'm like, you still going though. Like, you still going. So I just always try to remind myself that, like, yo, yeah, you're gonna find out that a lot of people are gonna dislike you, and a lot of people are not gonna have the same moral standards as you. But it is what it is. I mean, you know, principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places. This is what we're talking about, you know. And you know, I've been watching some videos on YouTube, a lot of esoteric knowledge videos, and you know, when they say, I actually honestly believe them when they say that when they're talking about the beast and like the beast system and stuff like that, you got to remember that before like most technologies I'll say this, you got to remember that you can actually invoke spirits using objects, you know, just like old you know, what's that, witchcraft and stuff like that. They're doing the same thing with technology. Just because they're not, you know, taking monkey paws and roots and doing all, it doesn't mean that they're not doing seances on these computer chips. It doesn't mean they not programming these things to have hidden capabilities to be able to, you know, read and extract information from your biofield. I mean, think about it like this. All these cell phones all have the capabilities of decoding the very electrical activity that's occurring in your body. It's like, when you think about it, all of these cell phones all have the ability to record electrical activity in your body. The sensors, the different types of sensors your phones have, all these phones are capable of doing the very things that, well, we don't ever really think that they could do, but they're already built into it. So you got to remember, this infrastructure has been in place for a while. Hey, this infrastructure has been in place for a while. The cell phones was just an addition. The cell phones was just so that, like, it's almost like having, I don't know if anybody has ever like played some type of game where, like, if you put like I don't know, it's kind of like if you were to put like a bullseye on a target, and then the bullet you shoot, the bullet literally can bend around corners, go all different types of ways, and then find its target, no matter where the target is at. That's basically what they did with cell phones. But now here's the other thing. Now you don't even need the cell phone, because they done miniaturize. Oh, I didn't even have to come this way. I just thought about it. But now they done miniaturize these devices so small, you don't even need to have your cell phone on you. You could literally walk out your house with nothing. You know why? Because the devices are already inside of you. All these nano-sized sensors and transmitters, and they're all coated with a polymer, with some type of polymer thing, polymer coating, something like that can be dissolved in an alkaline environment. But you know, the one thing I also try to keep in mind though, they've mentioned that, like, oh, Chris, you're doing way too much. You don't realize that you're carrying so many diseases, so many viruses. Now the thing is, like I told y'all, I just had some blood work done back in February. Everything came back fine, normal, you know, except for my what was it, lipoproteins was high. And from what I've researched online, sometimes lipoproteins can get high when the body is under a lot of stress. And my lipoproteins was like, they were insanely high. Like I think it was like the threshold for high lipoprotein A counts was like, I think it was like 125. Mine was 154. So I'm like, well, that must be a part of the whole oxidative stress, and maybe this radiation is causing a spike in proteins and stuff like that in the body. Maybe. But anyway, I don't know, cause and they always keep talking about, Chris, everybody think you a bitch. And I'm like, but here's my thing. If all of you are working with the system that basically forced you to be the person that you are, because you got to remember, these societies and these agencies, they manufacture so many fucking events and traumas in everybody's lives. Like, not everybody, but like, they manufacture so many of these things. When you look at poverty, you got to realize poverty is manufactured. The rich can't get rich unless there's poverty, right? So it's like, when you think about it, they manufacture so many of these things that's going on, right? And then, just when they get you broken down enough, or you done gave up so much of your morality, now all of a sudden they're like, hey, you want to become a gang stalker? You could make some money. And this is at the point you done already became destitute. You're trying to find whatever means you can to try to make a living. And it's like, that's kind of why, in some way or fashion, I'm like trying to have an understanding of the people that we're dealing with. Because you got to remember, a lot of them are basically doing this because they feel like they need money, or, you know, life is just hard already for them, and they're not going to mess with people who they don't know, got all these power and resources and stuff that could basically destroy their life. So yeah, a lot of people not going to push the envelope and make their life worse, you know. And then it's crazy to me, because they oftentimes tell me, oh, Chris, you don't even realize you got special privileges. I'm like, special privileges? I have no idea of what these privileges are that you're referring to, but I don't know. Hold on. All right, so now what's worse is that, oh man, I might as well just take it. Oh no, damn, I was about to go. Damn, I can't even. Fuck, I was about to go, man, and I can't even back this bike up because it has like this anti. Oh, why she let the cars go, man? Dang, that just made me mad. I'm like, I was like, and y'all saw I had a few seconds left before she let them cars go. Oh, whatever, man. Anyway, so, yeah, currently right now, they keep saying how, oh, your supervisor's watching these videos and people mad because they think you snitching, and, oh, you mad disrespectful. Your supervisor was only just trying to help you, and da-da-da. I'm like, first and foremost, one, I feel like the most human thing a person should do is, if they feel like somebody is talking about them and they watching videos about, talk to them. Because it's not like I'm doing anything malicious or saying anything bad about somebody. All I'm saying is, this is what for people who are using technology, transmitting their agenda, or transmitting their chat bots into my mind, they're telling me these things are happening, but I don't have no proof, right? So it's like I don't have no proof. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so this is just what they're saying. Now, I can't control if someone is going to watch something and feel like they're talking about them and then not tell me, because I can't control that. That's out of my control. I'm only talking about my experiences. And I get it. My experiences is probably very scary to many, because first and foremost, anybody who knows at least something about secret societies know that secret societies are scary and they are not to be messed with. Unless you have God in your life, because if you got God, then you ain't worried about nobody and how many of them it is. So, and then I'm like, man, look, ever heard of the Crusades? Ever heard of the Christians that was slaughtered just for believing in Jesus? So I'm like, if I believe that I was doing the right thing because, well, it was the right thing. If it was somebody, even if it was somebody I didn't know, which I didn't know the girl at all, I probably would have did the same thing. If she requested that she wanted to call the police and she felt that strongly, I'm not going to deny her that. That is not my place. She felt like she needed more protection, and quite frankly, I wasn't really trying to get that involved anyway. But hey, it is what it is. Hold on. But yeah, and it's like everybody who knows me knows I'm not somebody that's trying to get over on people. I'm not somebody who tries to like take advantage or outright disrespect anyone. I treat people the way I would want to be treated. And nobody can look me in my eyes and tell me I don't treat people the way I would want to be treated. Can't nobody walking this earth right now say that Chris is a malicious person, or Chris has malicious intentions or anything like that. Most of the time, I don't even want nothing from nobody. Why? Because most of the time I don't even like getting things from people unless I could give something back. Because I just always grew up where somebody always want to hang something over your head that they did something for you. So in my mind, that's also the other thing too with the whole targeting, because 5 years ago they was like before my first attempt to go to a hospital to see if I could get help, they was like, oh Chris, don't go to the hospital. Do not go. Do not talk to them about us. And then when I went in there and found out that the hospitals were involved too, all of a sudden, that's when it was like, oh, now since you told them about us, now you're gonna be a snitch for the rest of your life. I'm like, because I said I'm hearing voices in my head that's not mine. So I'm thinking to myself, so I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm like, okay, so this is, at that point, that's when I realized I'm not gonna get no help from any of these major, like, whatever. I'm not gonna get no help from none of them because they are all in on it. So I gotta do my diligence and do the research and figure out what the hell is happening with me. Thank God I found out about people like Myron May, and well, basically I just started finding stories about people who also were telling their experiences with synthetic telepathy. So the fact that I found them, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I found them people, because they helped me find the sanity in all of this. Like, it made me feel like I'm not crazy. Now, the only part that makes someone who has V2K feel crazy is when other people are telling them that they're crazy. But it's like you still don't necessarily feel crazy. You just feel like it's crazy that other people seem like they either don't know what you're talking about, and maybe they just can't comprehend it, or you got those who try to make it seem like they don't know what you're talking about, and they giving you body language like a motherfucker that they know exactly what you're talking about, but they do not want no parts of it. Hold on again. So, I mean, look, I'm literally just a guy just trying to live in New York City, try to take care of his mom the best that he could. That's all I really am. But I don't know, I just hate the fact that it seems like whenever someone is trying to do something good for someone or try to come to the aid of someone else, how even when police officers or other intelligence agencies try to, whistleblow or something, it's like, but who comes to our aid though? It's like when we are actually fighting the good fight, who comes to our aid? I mean, yeah, we got God, but that's not we don't actually know what God will have in store for us. Like for some people are meant to die and become a martyr, and some people are meant to live a long life, but it's like, I guess that's the reason why you just have to do anyway, and just be full on faith with it. Don't worry about death, because death comes for us all, including those who's on adrenochrome and all that. Yeah, they might reach 100 years old or whatever, but the karma that they built over their entire lifetime, I don't know, karmic retribution is real. And the elites, they basically get over on many of us because, well, they have taken so many resources and funds from so many people, and they've built their life on mostly stepping on other people's lives. That's really the only way you really could get as rich as some of these people are. Because I'm like, what? You want me to just believe it was just all investment, so you ain't step on nobody else's life for you to get to be as rich as you are? You ain't step on nobody else's life, But anyway, I don't know. It's like they trying to make it seem like, I'm the bad guy for doing something that I believe is damn near worse than, probably is something that could be, I don't even know if I could say if it's worse than slavery and the Holocaust, because like, you have to understand, this technology literally allows people to kill another person without ever being detected, unless you know something about technology. Unless you know something about technology, they getting away. They're getting away with murder. But here's the thing, we don't watch all through COVID, they was sniping people out left and right. Sniping them left and right. And what really got me was some of those videos of like in different parts of the country, and even in parts of Asia and whatnot, where people they're just sitting, and then all of a sudden they just break out into a whole full-blown like seizure and whatnot. And then some of these people have never had any pre-existing health conditions and stuff like that, and then they die. Yeah, you could get into the whole COVID shot thing and all that, but I don't know, like I've come to realize that this world is full of willing vessels that do not mind being possessed. I said it, and I strongly believe it, because it seems like everyone is gravitating to so much negativity. Everyone, like, it seems like so many people are gravitating to just like, or they're just magnetically being pulled to just be focused on negative energy, negative events, and things like that, you know. And it's like the majority of my life has mostly been positive. Just drive, man, just drive. Shit, fuck you waiting for? I'm sorry, you're taking mad long to make a turn. See all these other people coming. I'm like, man, just drive so I could go right behind you. Cause I'm like, unlike some cities, New York, they will jaywalk the in New York they will jaywalk the jaywalk. Like, and then on top of that, if you the one driving, they'll look you dead in your windshield, look you dead in your eyes, and be like, you better, I wish you would hit me, as they jaywalk. Like, funny thing, I know I've probably done it myself though. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm working a double today, trying to get some things, squared away, because I got this cruise coming up, and I am so I'm excited, but I have to contain my excitement. It's like I'm excited, but I have to contain some of my excitement, because I always leave some room for when, in case they want to mess with some things, or interfere with some processes and whatnot. So I just, I don't allow myself to get excited about things until it's like in the now. Like, if it's something that's ahead, I'm just like, I'm positive that and excited that I'm planning for it, but I don't let myself get lost, because, well, life happens, things happen, and I prefer not to be surprised. So if I be surprised, I'd be surprised that it actually went without a hitch, and I just go, oh, all right. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Yeah, one thing I could say is just constantly remind yourself to do things that make you feel happy. Do things that make you feel relief. For many people who are being attacked with these weapons, you gotta realize something. You can't sit still. Like, I know it, seems like for some people, it seems like the more you try to move or you try to do something, they just attack you more, because, well, the whole idea is if they can get you to stay still, then you're a sitting target. You're much easier to just torment. And then you got to also realize this beast system is feeding off of loosh, the loosh energy that's produced by you, and loosh is nothing but trauma. So when you're just sitting still and you're not really doing anything to cleanse yourself of the energy that they're storing up in your body, you're basically making yourself a sitting duck, But that's why I keep trying to tell people, look, do this bath. If you could do the bath, do the bath. If you can't do the bath, find a way to get your hands on some sea salt and borax, put it in like a jug of water, get it to dissolve, and you can use that to, like, I don't know, wash your hands, wash your face, or wherever they're attacking you, pour some of that salted water on a rag and wipe on the spot that they're hitting you at. But you can't just sit still, because when you sit still, you're allowing the energy to just continuously build up inside of you. The more the energy build up, the more painful the attack's gonna be, And then there's a whole bunch of other meditative things you can do to improve your neural functioning, your neural functions, But anyway, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.